Hello book besties and welcome to my freaking YouTube channel. This is so exciting. I could not be happier to be here. My name is Tegan and I love to freaking read. I have a BookTok account. My handle is the exact same, Tegan's Reads, and I started that account at the end of 2024 and honestly it has been a bit of a saving grace for me. I had recently moved interstate before this and I knew no one where I was now living, so I was a little bit lonely, I guess. I also work from home full time, so I wasn't getting out and about much, and I kind of just said, fuck it, let's create a BookTok account and post my silly little videos and see what happens. And I have now made so many incredible friends who I cannot picture my life without. I've received publisher mail, ARCs. It has been such a journey and I've really loved it. But one thing about me is I love to yap, especially about books, and on TikTok it's more short form content. So it was actually one of my goals this year to start a YouTube channel, which is how we ended up here. I am just so excited to be here. A little bit about myself. I do have another video ready to go, which is a get to know me and special editions vibe, but just a little housekeeping, I guess. My name is Tegan. I love to read fantasy, romantasy, dystopian, sci-fi. Those are definitely my bread and butter. I do read also romance. They are more so palate cleansers for me. It's not something that I really tend to reach for, and I definitely have to be in the mood for it. I am also trying to dabble in the dark romance genre. Now, I've read a few in there. The Mindfuck series and the Edge of Darkness series both have been god tier for me. They are absolutely phenomenal, but I'm afraid that anything else that I have tried in that genre just hasn't hit for me, or I felt like it's been a little bit too dark, even though those two books I just mentioned are extremely freaking dark. So I'm not quite sure that I'm there yet, but I am trying because I know that there are just so many amazing books out there just waiting for me to read them. So that is a little bit about me. You'll learn a little bit more in my next few videos. I thought that today we could do one of my favorite videos that I love to watch, which is a May reading wrap up and picking a few prompts for my June hopefuls list. Now, I usually pick out 4 different prompts. I have kind of slowed down a little bit with my reading. Last year, reading was definitely a saving grace for me, and I kind of just threw all of my spare time into reading. So I had the reading goal for 100 books and I read just under 150. This year I've lowered it to 80 books. I've currently read 51, so I'm still tracking really well. And I just kind of wanted to be a bit more intentional with what I was reading and what I was buying, because I unhauled an ungodly amount of books last year. Like, it wasn't very good. So I'm definitely trying to be more intentional with that. And I feel like last year I really learnt my reading style and what I like and the kind of books that I should kind of stay clear from, I guess. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Get cozy, get a drink, get a snack, and let's chat books. Okay, let's start off with a few statistics. In the month of May, I read 10 books. 2 of those books were physical reads. 1 was a Kindle read. It was actually an e-arc sent to me by NetGalley, and 7 of them were audiobooks. Now, last year you could not get me to do an audiobook. I just really struggled to process the information that way. This year, audiobooks have been the best thing for me, to be honest. I feel like I've consumed probably 80% of my reads for the year via audiobooks, so love that for me. I have also found 1 new god tier series this month, and I had 5 5-star reads. That's a 50-50 ratio. That's freaking amazing, I think. So let's quickly chat about them. I've got 5 of them here that I own, and the other 5 I do not have copies of, but let's go through the ones that I don't have copies of first. Okay, starting off strong, we read the Sins of the Zodiac series by the Twisted Sisters. I adore their writing style so freaking much. I know that they are not going to be for everyone. They have a very specific type of humor, and if it's not for you, then you will hate their books. But I read all 3 books that are out so far. So I did Never Keep, which I gave 3.5 stars, Echo Fort, which I gave 4 stars, and Cindervale, which was 5 gigantic freaking stars. This is set in the same world as Zodiac Academy, and I would highly recommend reading Zodiac Academy before jumping into this series. I really, really enjoy the Twisted Sisters writing. As I said, I think that they are phenomenal. I think that the way that they have a full cast of characters that you get to know is really, really fun, and they are not afraid to really make you hate some of those characters. Like, this was an enemies to lovers for all parts. So we follow along 2 FMCs, Everest and Vespa, and they're kind of on their own journeys, but their timelines do overlap at points. So it's really fun to be getting these 2 different experiences. They are 2 insanely different characters, and it is just so much that goes on. I did the audiobooks for these 3, and the audiobooks were incredible. Now, funnily enough, I did actually pick up Never Keep last year, and I ended up DNFing it at the 50% mark. I am so glad that I went back to it. I would definitely say the first 50% of Never Keep is a bit of a slog, it's a bit of a bore, but once you get past that point, it picks up so incredibly much, and then from there onwards it is just go, go, go. Every book gets better and better and better, and it is just wildly addicting. Like, the way that these authors write their stories is just insane. The cliffhangers were brutal, and oh my goodness, I am so looking forward to the next book. I believe it's going to be called Oracle Bay, and it comes out next year, which is really upsetting, but I think, has the potential to be a god tier book for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. Next up, I read The Score by Elle Kennedy, and this is a bit of a hot take. I totally understand that, but I gave this book 3 stars. Now, a bit of lore, I guess, with me in this series. I read The Deal last year, and I think I gave it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was anything remarkable. I then read the second book, The Mistake, and I absolutely despised it. From that point onwards, I had no interest whatsoever to continue the series, even though I knew people were saying that the 3rd book is the best book and Dean and Ellie are their favorite characters. That just did not convince me, and I was really content to just leave it where it was. And yeah, I didn't have an interest up until the TV show came out. Oh my goodness, I am on my 5th rewatch of that show. I'm obsessed with it. It is everything to me. I went in with kind of no expectations, to be honest, and I am just thoroughly obsessed, like so many other people. And when I was watching it, when we got to that one dancing scene, I'm sure if you've watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I genuinely thought to myself, if this is what I am missing out on in the book, then I have to go and read it. So the next day after I binged the entire series in one night on the release day, I bought the audiobook for The Score. And honestly, I just don't think that the books or the writing was for me. I gave the book 3 stars. It was fine, but I feel like the chemistry that I saw between the characters on the show was non-existent in the book. I will say that I, having now read the book, know about the very tragic ending of that book, and that completely ruined me. I was driving home from dropping Luke off somewhere, and I nearly had to pull the car over because I was just sobbing so freaking much. So I am really, really anxious to see that particular scene be brought to life in the show. But yeah, I think we can all just trauma bond over that when the time comes. Oh, that was a decision. It was definitely a decision. I probably am not going to rush to read Tucker's book. I will read it because it is the last one in the series, but I don't feel a rush to read it at the moment. And I did see little snippets of The Legacy, and just from those snippets alone, I know that I would fucking hate that book. So I'm just going to pretend that I, one, never saw the snippets, and two, that that book does not freaking exist. So that is that. Then we went on to read my arc of Sorrow and Strangers, which was kindly sent to me by NetGalley. And this is the second book to Blood and Betrayals. Now, if you've come over from TikTok and you know me there, you know that I adored Blood and Betrayals so much. I recommend it every chance that I get. It was phenomenal and probably one of my favorite reads of last year. So this second book was a highly anticipated release for me. I was so freaking excited when I got accepted for it, and I immediately started it. I am so devastated to say that I gave this book 2.5 stars. I'm not sure what it was, but this book felt like it did a complete 180 to Blood and Betrayals. I felt like our characters lost the personality and the spark that they had in the first book. And while I understand, if you've read the first book, you know that the way it ended was absolutely heartbreaking and diabolical. And I understood why our characters had to go through what they went through at the start of this book, but I felt like it dragged for the entire book. I felt like the book consisted of 800 pages of crying, fucking, and training. And I feel like no major plot points actually happened until maybe the end of the book. And even then, it felt like it was resolved quite quickly, or the things that weren't resolved were kind of obvious that they were going to become like a bit of a main storyline in the following book, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure. I think I will definitely read book 3 when it comes out, and that will kind of be the decider book for me to see if I continue the series or DNF the series, which is really, really upsetting to say because, again, I loved Blood and Betrayals so much. So those were the books that I currently do not own. Now let's jump into the ones that I do own. Starting off strong, we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This is a rom-com, and it is like a classic nostalgic rom-com vibe. If you are someone who loved to watch all of those movies like when you were younger or even still now, you will adore this book and the book that comes before it, which is Mr. Wrong Number. So this book follows along our two characters, and essentially they both end up on this dating app after they've had a one-night stand together. And they kind of figure they've already slept with one another. There's no awkwardness between them. Why not kind of pair up and be each other's wingman and keep each other motivated so that they can find the love of their lives? And yeah, the dating app is nothing to rave about. They go on many failed and interesting dates, and they kind of just stick it out together and kind of form a bit of a pact. So they do end up planning a few dates at the exact same places, and then if the dates are not going well, they kind of just skip out together and go and get tacos and beers around the corner. So they've got a really fun friendship, and I think that that dynamic was really fun to read about. I gave this book 4.5 stars. It was just such a fun, silly, giggly time. Classic rom-com. You definitely have to be in the mood for a rom-com to read it, I believe. But yeah, I adored this. I cannot wait to read more of Lynn Painter's work, because this and Mr. Wrong Number are definitely in my top reads of the year so far, which is crazy because, again, not a huge romance girly. Next up, we have Starside by Alex Astor, the queen herself. Now, originally I gave this book 4.5 stars because it did take me a little while to read, but that was purely because I was slumping at the time and I just had no motivation to pick up my book, even though I was enjoying it so much. I have since bumped it up to 5 stars because I genuinely have thought about this book every single day since I finished it. This is enemies, not even to lovers, just enemies and lovers. That is exactly what Alex herself has said, and I love that. It was insane. So in this world, there are magical gates that open every 50 years, and 50 challengers are allowed to journey across Starside on this really deadly quest to obtain a cup of magic that they can use however they wish to. It is such an insanely unique read in terms of the magic system, the world building, and it is so tension filled because, again, the enemies are true enemies in this, to the point where you don't even know if they are going to eventually become lovers. It is such a fun read, and I definitely urge you to go into this one a little bit blind. Don't even read the blurb if you can help it. It is just such a fun time. I will be recommending this book to everyone, and I'm so glad that I read this alongside bestie Rian, because we had the best time just going back and forth with our revelations of the book, especially the way that this one ended. Absolutely diabolical. And finally, the newest series in my God tier list, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I gave every single one of these books 5 gigantic stars. They were the easiest 5 stars I have ever given, and I consumed these via graphic audios, which I cannot recommend enough. They are probably my favorite graphic audios that I have ever listened to. The way that this played out like a movie, not only in my head but in my ears as well, just added so much to the experience. I adore these books. I adore the characters. The author himself is such a brilliant genius, and he is someone who is not afraid to kill off characters and keep them dead. Now, one of my bookish icks is definitely where characters will die and then in the next chapter they are magically brought back to life. Especially when this happens again and again and again, it kind of just loses that emotional value that a character's death can add to a book. This series here, no one is safe. No one is safe. Do not get attached. You do not know what is going to happen. It was so freaking incredible. I wish I could read it for the first time all over again. I think I'm going to try and rebind this series and make some really cool special editions with it because I am obsessed. It's become my whole personality. I will eventually read the second arc, which is the next 3 books. I believe there is a time jump in those ones as well, I've been told. So I'm going to take a little break for now. I literally just finished Morningstar this morning, so I'm still kind of processing what is going on there, but fucking incredible. So this is a dystopian series, and essentially the way that the society is organized is through a color system. Reds are at the very bottom. They're essentially slaves. They're miners on Mars, and they kind of just think that they are preparing the world to be livable, if not for themselves, then for their children. Then we have the golds, who are the highest that you can be, and they essentially are all assholes. There are a few good ones, but it is just so corrupt and full of lies. It's very hard to tell who you can trust and who is actually good. Now, our MC Darrow, he is a red, and he is one of the miners, and he thinks that he is contributing to society and doing his bit so that he can go to the surface hopefully one day, or his kids can go to the surface and live a better life. He then comes to find out that he has been lied and betrayed to his entire life, and the surface has been livable for years and years now. So he goes through this whole process of becoming a gold and infiltrating their system to take it down. It is so intense. Literally from the very start of the book up until the ending of the 3rd book, it is so intense. It is go, go, go. You just do not know what's going to happen. And everything just felt so out of pocket in the best kind of way. Like, it was the least predictable book and series I've ever read, I think. So those are the 10 books that I read in the month of May. It was quite a quality month of reading, to be honest. We had quite a few highly rated books, and again, a new God tier series, which is always so exciting. But now let's move on to picking out some prompts for my June hopefuls list. I'll quickly grab my jar and we can get started together. Alrighty, here she is. I'm very excited to get into this. I do know that I will be reading Fever Dream. That is my book club's book of the month, so that will be done. And I think that this is the month that Light Wielder comes out, actually. Let me quickly fact check that, because if that's coming out, I will definitely be picking that one up on release day. I am so excited for that book. Light Builder. 9th of June. Yeah, that's definitely going on the list as well. So we've got 2 on there already. We're going to pick 4 prompts together and we'll see if we get through them because I haven't been very successful during the year. January was an amazing reading month for me and then I was slumping up until May. Okay. First pick. Let's see. Buddy picks my next read. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll try and film that one at the end and we'll come back to it. Prompt number 2. Ooh. Okay, let's go for this one. A fae romantasy classic, absolute classic. I am going to have a quick look at the books that I haven't read yet on my physical shelves and come back to you with a few options. Okay, I actually do not own a physical copy of this book yet, but I am going to pick The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. I cannot wait to devour this book. I am someone who adored When the Moon Hatched. It is definitely not for everyone. You either love it or you hate it. I personally loved it and I cannot wait to dive back into that world. So the first book going on our June Hopefuls list from our prompts is The Ballad of Fallen Dragons. Okay, let's do prompts number 3. I'm going to go right down the bottom. This one says, a book by an indie author. That is really fun. I do have quite a few options for this, so let me quickly grab them. Okay, I've got 2 physical options here, and I also have 2 Kindle options as well. So first up we have Echo of Wings by Sophia St. Germain. Then we have Fighting Chance by Mads Rafferty. On my Kindle I have After the Fury by Melissa J. Kincaid. And I also have A Shade of Chrome and Malice by K.L. DeVore. Now all 4 of these are really highly anticipated reads for me. I think that I am going to have to go with Echo of Wings by Sophia St. Germain though, just because I know she is expanding the universe that she writes in, and this is the only other series that I have to catch up on her backlog to be able to continue on with her upcoming releases, because I want to get this stuff read before her newer ones as well. So book number 2 on our June Hopefuls list is Echo of Wings. This is also a nice short one as well, so I should be able to smash this out in one sitting, one night. Okay, let's do our 4th and final prompt. Just lost one there. Let's go for this one. Our last prompt says, Bear picks my next read. So we officially have both of my doggos who are going to be picking a read for me each. I'm going to probably lay a few down or hold a couple up with some treats behind it and see what one they gravitate towards. That's so funny, they both got picked in the same video. So I'm going to go and try and do that and insert the clip at the end. And yeah, we'll see what they come back with.
Wait. This one here is Bud. And this one is Bear Bear. And this is the stack of books that they will be choosing from. Wait. 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 Oh, you kind of these. Sit. Sit. Okay. Okay, 4 and stars. Bear, Bear, pick one. Bear.
Bear, the food's here. Bear.
Bear, you idiot. Buddy's got to get the ball.
Bear. Bear. Bear.
Okay, Jagger at the plate. Ay.
Well, there we have it. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. To whoever is watching, do not forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to post more of these videos. I will hopefully film a video of me reading the books that we just picked together, which I think will be really fun. And yeah, if there's anything in particular that you would like to see on this channel, definitely let me know, because I could always use more ideas. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a brilliant day, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm in my belly shining.